against Neil for the EWC Community Cup.
Gotta wait and find out as right now they're getting ready to start things up here. Game number 1, NRG versus RMC. Oh, man. We didn't go over players to watch. Who's your player to watch on RMC, this squad? Oh, man, NRG, though. Oh, said watch out. We're going to be the squad you need to look out for as Garrett G started off with a bang.
I mean, look at the demo from Zanil. I mean, you have to be a demo-heavy team if you're going against RMC. You got to be a very bump-heavy, aggressive team, and NRG shows that right off the rip. Garrett said, you know what? No, look at me. Eyes on me. You want to talk about the other team? Absolutely not. But for me, honestly, yes, my eyes go to Cheese pretty much every single time I watch this roster because it's been alluded to. Corelli said it before. It's pretty known, but this team has these moments where things kind of make or break on Cheese's shoulders. If he's able to keep up offensively and create a lot of those solo plays, then RMC kind of easily goes a step above the rest. But right now, NRG are leading by 1. It's on RMC's shoulders to try and catch up and hold them off for now.
And it's very interesting you say that because I pointed out in the first series with RMC on the day that, you know, Cheese was really not really having a lot of highlight plays like we're normally used to him seeing, and still they were able to come out on top. But right now, NRG putting pedal to the metal as Aqua finds the back of the net here, and RMC need to figure out something on the defensive end to stop what NRG are able to cook up because we're only 1 minute in.
Yeah, right now this is, again, NRG is coming into this one a little bit, as far as like current results, as the underdog a little bit. So you are going to be coming into this one very, very full force, you know, completely swinging at the fences as quickly and as fast as you can. On the flip side, RMC, they are trying to learn a little bit about this team because you don't know what things are like with Zanil as of right now. You probably have very little to no experience because this is your first time seeing Zanil compete with NRG, and for now he looks great. That's just a very patient, solid follow-up, open net, really nobody able to get back in time, and NRG going up 3-0, no responses.
Yeah, that right there was just the bread and butter play. And the cool thing about this is that NRG, this is the first time that they have scored 3 goals in a game today. You know, they won 3-1 in their series, but they only scored a maximum of 2 goals in all of their wins. So the fact that they've gotten 3 here against RMC when Eggplant didn't even give up 3 goals to NRG. I mean, hey, big props to NRG for coming out, you know, a little bit on fire maybe, but also maybe RMC coming out a little bit sluggish maybe.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like that's fair to say. They definitely aren't playing as quickly or as cohesively as they normally do right now, but they don't look bad. You saw those lurked demos already starting to come out a little bit, so that's a little bit more to the RMC that most people, you know, watch in these events like this. But NRG, what they're bringing out to the table is clearly working. This one over to the backboard, she's going to carry. He already spots Reddles, and that's a quick transition out past mid, but NRG immediately taking it back, and Magic forced to fight by himself off that one. He is able to slow it down, but I gotta give props to NRG. They have been so aggressive in their man-to-man play right now that RMC have had no space to create any opportunities.
Yeah, now it's gonna be NRG doing more of what they did in the first series of the day, is just getting that lead like they did over Snowmen, and then playing super defensive and not giving up any counterattack possibilities. And as long as they can do that, 2 minutes remaining, be good to go. But still, plenty of time left on the clock for this RMC roster to strike back.
Definitely, they're trying to get past right now. Garrett G, though, stops that ball in the mid and takes this one towards that net. Reset forward, double off the backboard. Garrett G, big boy Brock energy all throughout this game 1. He's gotten 2 goals now, the second one in crazy style.
The champ does it again. I mean, coming through in the clutch. And now NRG find themselves with a more than comfortable lead and really putting on a dominating game number 1 over RMC, who really haven't found anything on the offensive end. They haven't put a lot of solid pressure onto NRG. It's just been a lot of passive play out of RMC, and saying these 3 letters for each squad back to back, it can get a little confusing if you're just listening, I'm sure. But this RMC squad, either way, trying to battle back and get this one out of their half for the first time in what feels like a long time.
Yeah, this is very interesting because it feels very unlike the RMC we've seen so long. There hasn't been many teams where their play style really holds RMC back at times like this. Like, you see that challenge off Zanil, they're not allotted any follow-ups to their shots, yet NRG are able to find that space right now. So game number 1, you've got less than a minute to go and 4 unanswered goals, almost 5 here, as a demo sends the rest of NRG back. RMC trying their hardest with low resources to get out and make a shot, but it looks like they have officially met their match.
And right now, their match is looking like they are striking hot fire on the match, because the NRG are cooking with something crazy. I mean, listen, hey, I predicted an NRG win, but I didn't expect any of the games to be a shutout in this series. And I sure didn't expect NRG to come out in game number 1 with this kind of bravado. But hey, big props to this squad for putting 2 and 2 together and being able to really make something happen in this game number 1 that RMC are going to have to go back to the drawing board about.
Oh, for sure. I like this from NRG as well. I mean, that's the kind of energy that you need to have against a team that has had so much success recently. Freaks out when they go to game 5. It is so absurdly normal for them. So honestly, in any combination, there is a world where they respond. I'm just more concerned about NRG. There's very few times where we get to see them be that dominant against a roster and then keep that energy throughout the series, right? So we're more looking to NRG to recreate what they did in that game 1. The bigger question is, can they do it? A lot of the times, once they get responded to, it is very difficult for them to come back into things, and then they kind of just snowball crash out a little bit there. So I am curious, does NRG actually keep the same pace of play when those micro adjustments are made by the opposition?
And adjustments are going to need to be major coming out of the side of RMC, as they found themselves at a 4-goal deficit in the last game, and NRG looking to keep this one going. But Aqua not able to get the bump after the shot, and she's going to save this one away. Still going to be on the RMC half to start, but a little bit of an overcommit comes out, and maybe a chance here as the center comes out. And yeah, you can't do anything about that. That was just too clean of a counterattack. It was an overcommittal. You see all the players from NRG corralled together on the right side, and that just left it wide open for Reddles to clean it up.
This is the most RMC play ever. Magic Bear, he went for the demo. Cheese got the bump on Garrett, and then Reddles just gets the wide open clear. Magic Bear off the kickoff, trying to just keep that energy going. And this is what we were missing from RMC. We didn't really get to see any of those bumps or demos, kind of opening that path again, just a normal RMC kind of play style that we've gotten recently. They are able to recreate it. It looked great against the NRG defense, but now NRG forced to have to respond. Garrett on low boost. This one gets taken away. Aqua to follow in the corner here. Garrett G's just trying to lurk on it, but Magic completely takes it away. Him and Cheese working together to get to the backboard. No connect on the bump. The follow-up will come through once again. Reddles with the cleanup crew.
Yeah, you can see the bump attempt was almost there. Zanil tried to wiggle his way around it and get the clear, but just couldn't in time. And now RMC, the one playing with pace and taking control back into their half, as NRG now the ones coming out slow. So a complete flip-flop of what we saw in game number 1.
Oh, yes. And this is what I expected, too. I mean, that game 1 is always going to be a little bit of a feeler, especially if a roster is only playing with 2/3 of the original. You don't really quite know what you're going to get from that third player, and that third player being Zanil right now. If you guys didn't know, Zanil is coming into this one for NRG. So it is a different vibe, but RMC coming out full force, 110%, already up 2-0. An attempted pass over to Aqua. Aqua leaves us up. Garrett's going to call himself off of it and just try and stop it down in the mid and recreate that pressure there for NRG.
Yeah, now Cheese is going to look to get the clear, able to get it past 1. Now it's up to the bear. He's on the side. Reddles gets the demo. Can't get the center, though, and now we're heading back the other way. Cheese looking to put this one on target. He does, but it's a softie in Zanil. Gonna save this one. Still, it's NRG on the back foot, playing defense, needing to keep RMC at bay, who are looking to get their third on the board.
Full tank of boost here for Reddles as well. Loses the touches on it, though. You do have to leave it for Magic at that point. No bumps, no demos coming through means this one is going to get stopped a little easier than most. Aqua going for the solo. Air dribble towards net. Zanil there to follow, but no boost means a slow shot easily sent off into the corner here. And NRG, this is one of the longer times we've seen them on offense, but everything's getting stopped in its tracks, and that transition comes through off the backboard, sent off by Aqua.
Yeah, I would love to see the demo count after this game, because they are just...
Oh, it's going to be nasty.
Yeah, they have just been going after it. We're only halfway through already, as RMC trying to get their next one on the board. NRG are waiting in the wings. Another demo comes out. This time it's going to be in favor of RMC to try and stop this pressure that NRG, are putting onto them. Here we go, back again as this one gets cleared away. RMC with the center, but nothing there. Cheese able to get another center potentially. That's just going to loft it directly over to NRG. Challenge up top. And that's a big win for RMC off the backboard. Now here we go. Reddles up high. He's got space and time, but taken away by Aqua. Cheese is there to corral it. Can the bump come through? No. Another great save from the NRG defense to keep RMC at bay.
Yeah, I got to give it to NRG on this one. They're definitely doing pretty solid micro adjusting in preparing for a lot of those bumps and demos that are inevitably going to be going their way from RMC as Reddles tries to keep this one out mid. Cheese's touch keeps it orange side and Magic Bear to follow. Low on boost though, he spots Reddles out mid. But instead, this one's going to fall to the hands of Cheese off of a touch from NRG here. And NRG really are just kind of struggling to get out of their own half. RMC just inching towards this net. And you can see the boost just depleting from the NRG players here. So if you place this one high, Reddles gets that 100 tank boost. Magic Bear couldn't put it in, but it was just a great play. You saw the idea. But RMC now just only holding on to a 2-0 lead.
Bear just a little bit off the mark. Cheese looking to contest right now. Reddles collects. Can he find the center? He's going to be looking for it, and there it is. Bear's waiting, but no. It's going to go back, and now Cheese is going to have to play defense to keep this one a 2-goal advantage, and Reddles comes back to sweep this one to the side one more time to make sure that NRG aren't going to get anything. The demo's there, and that's enough to let Cheese guide it through. Reddles on the defense, Reddles on offense, getting the demo. Everything's looking amazing right now for RMC in game number 2.
As soon as you saw Reddles and Cheese kind of lock cars for a second and Reddles completely veer off, you knew that whoever that third man was not going to be there for much longer. 3-0 for RMC, but wow. NRG sends it back. The same energy from Zanil gets sent their way. It was just a bump onto Cheese. He said, no, that one is slow rolling through. I don't care at what miles per hour. We are getting something on the board here, and they do.
It went off of Cheese. I know Cheese is like, oh, man, wrong placement, wrong place, wrong time. This one gets stolen. NRG not going to be able to tie this one up, and so we got ourselves a 1-1 series. All right, so do you feel like the winner of this game right here is going to win this series?
I think if RMC win it, it goes 3-1. I think if NRG wins, we get a Game 5 trade-off, and then that's a complete coin flip. Anybody could take it at that point.
Okay, fair enough. Well, see if that's going to be the case here and now, and who's going to be able to strike first into the hearts of their opponents. Now it's RMC on the defensive end, looking to get the clear. NRG starting out with a lot of pressure, and this one seeps by. Oh no, Garrett G able to start things off hot for NRG.
I like this. I mean, the few times we've seen Garrett solo play or challenge on his zone, he's been fairly successful. So that's really, I mean, props to you, man. NRG on the board first. Last time we saw NRG take the early goal lead, they came out successful. They won the game. So we're going to see if that energy continues into game number 3.
NRG keeping this one up would be massive for them if they can stay up in this game. Just because we've seen what they can do once they get an advantage. They can play super defensive and just kind of make sure that their opponent isn't able to come back. We've seen them do it in the first series of the day, and they also did it in game number 1 where they shut out RMC. RMC didn't get a goal in game number 1, which is a complete 360 from what happened in game number 2. So if history repeats itself, then we'll see NRG take this one simply because they're the ones that have scored first.
There's some pattern to that, honestly. Sometimes, I don't know the exact statistic on it, but there is like a tiny pattern sometimes where if a team wins that first early lead, they usually can take the win. But a lot of the times, if you're going up against a team like this, and that's talking about RMC, these guys face off in game 5s all the time. They have these 2-0 leads and then they lose it, or they'll have an early game, or they're trailing in the early game and then they find their way on back. It's really just who you're getting on the day of right now. But NRG has been matching RMC's energy fairly well. In particular, I'm very pleasantly surprised with how well Garrett has been soloing and IGLing for NRG in this series. I just want to see more from Zenil. When we saw him, he looked great. Reddles, unfortunately for them, just looks better.
Yeah, just right over the defense, and oh my goodness, redirects it off the backboard, gets the double. Yikes. That's just gorgeous right there. I mean, RMC get the equalizer, and so here we go. First game where both teams have scored, and now we got ourselves a match.
Yeah, this is a tied game now. 3 minutes on the clock here. RMC, though, looking to take that lead. Great stop there from Zenil. Low on boost, going to use everything he has to really just try and get this one out, but Magic Bear takes it away. Garrett G just faster, though, to respond. Slow connect, great control, and a shot barely sent off by Reddles. And RMC, quick transition off the crossbar, and that's so unfortunate from Aqua. His touch just helps put that one through, and RMC's lead gets extended.
Oh, man, yeah, barely able to. Was that a slight bump that came through, or no? He might have just not touched that one correct. Unfortunate either way, and now RMC find themselves with the advantage, so they battle back from that deficit, and oh, man, when it rains, it pours as Reddles gets the third, and RMC now with 3 goals back-to-back unanswered.
I feel for Aqua twice now back-to-back. It's been a rough positioning for him. That first one, I do think he got a tiny bump off Cheese, and then the second one off the kickoff. It just is not going their way. Like I said, I talked about this at the early stages of this series, that NRG, a lot of the times when you see them so in control and in a lead, the part that makes me nervous for them is a lot of the times it starts to slip out of their fingers. It's hard for them to hold on to that for a long amount of time, which is why I said if NRG were able to win this one is really when you're going to start to see that trade back and forth. But RMC right now just building on their 2-goal lead, trying to take this in a game 4 if possible. But it's one step at a time. Magic Bear air dribble down to the ground. 50 goes out to the side.
RMC still applying solid pressure. Reddles with the demo, looking for the center now. Gonna need to be up to Aqua, get the full clear, but Magic Bear is gonna meet him in the middle. And Garrett G needs to get a solid touch onto this one to keep it out of the hands of Reddles, but Reddles is gonna take it anyway. Up and away, leaving it off for Cheese. And maybe this is the time for Cheese to have the highlight play we've been waiting on. Off the backboard, no, it's gonna be swiped away by Zenil. Magic Bear looking for the center yet again, gets the challenge, flicks it up, and that might have been enough to set up a play as Reddles gets the touch onto it, but it drops right down to the side yet again, and still no clear coming in for NRG, which is gonna leave the opportunity for RMC to score still open, but yet again, another ball guides right in front of the net, and nobody there to punch it home for RMC. Right back to it. Here we come. Oh man, a little bit of a whiff there from RMC coming out. I thought that was going to be another goal, number 4, but unfortunate for them, they weren't able to connect.
Yeah, just not enough boost to make that connect on that passing play there, but nothing too much to stress about when you're up by 2:45 on the clock. Zanil going to stop that one in the air, but Magic Bear's touch passes it off to Cheese, but Cheese has nothing left, and NRG are taking note of it, but NRG equally as low right now. And Zanil and Aqua work together, pinch this one on out. 30 seconds left on the clock to try and find 2 goals here as this one floats past one. Garrett G's going to try and send it back and give his team another opportunity. 50s past another. No touch allowed, though, on the third follow-up. Instead, Magic Bear is going to run away with this one, put one on in, and put RMC up by 3.
A solid job from RMC to understand, all right, there's a lot of pressure coming in from NRG. They're overcommitting. It's an easy counterattack, and that's exactly what happened. Magic Bear took it and ran away with it. Now we got ourselves a situation where RMC find themselves on series point. And if RMC can win this next game after this one, then they guarantee themselves at least $2,000 in this Community Cup. And they'll be feeling great about that heading into tomorrow because they are going to be automatically in that semifinal matchup, guaranteed top 4.
Oh, for sure. But you do still have another game to get through. NRG has the opportunity, whenever this one ends in regulation, has the opportunity to tie up the series and try and force that game 5 there. But for now, RMC gonna take game number 3 here, 4-2. Maybe one more for the road home. This one off the backboard. Cheese tried to leave that one over to Reddles, but instead, no. Garrett's gonna kill this one, and RMC claim match point. And at a rinse and repeat into game 4.
If NRG want to force that fabled game number 5, they need to put on a much better performance than they did in game number 3 because it was all RMC. They had all the pace, all of the tenacity, and everything necessary. And oh my goodness, RMC almost picking up right where they left off as Cheese barely wide, still centered to the middle, but Zanil is there to get the clear. So we're heading back the other way, and that was a scary situation early and often for NRG.
Yeah, a weird miss there from Cheese off that first shot, but I got to give props to NRG for being able to walk away with that and just keep going. Zanil over to the backboard here. Low boost for Cheese means a follow-up could come through, but Garrett, a little bit of hesitation off that one means the opportunity goes wayside, unfortunately, and you got to try again. But NRG doing a little bit better. There is clearly progress defensively to hold this team back. I mean, you already saw Reynolds go for the bump play on that one, completely denied off of it. So first minute could go in favor of NRG if they score right here.
A lot of pressure, but the clear comes through this time from Magic Bear. Reynolds not able to get a touch to it. It does get centered one more time and now popped up. Zanil looking for the challenge, but still won out by RMC. Cheese sends it up high, drops it low for Reddles, not able to read it right, and the beautiful 50 might be able to cause a goal, and that's exactly what's going to happen as Aqua off the counter attack score the first one for NRG. Are we going 5? Oh man.
Well, okay, to be fair, we're like a minute 20 into this one. But it was a rough challenge there from Reddles. You saw him pushed up past the half and then loses the 50, and Aqua just had all the time in the world to make that small double off the side. But like I said, there is definitely a chance you can go game 5. RMC has been there like a million trillion times. It is, again, all the pressure is on NRG to really just refine themselves as Garrett spawns back in. RMC getting pushed out of that orange half there, but Reddles is trying to force it. You see Magic Bear already lurking up in the net, and unfortunately, just the way he recovered just wasn't in a position to take that shot.
And now heading back the other way on NRG, trying to apply pressure. Nice challenge here at the midfield from them, but a little bit of a whiff comes out and they're going to need to reset, but not able to because guess what? RMC getting possession. Magic Bear off the backboard, but he's going to be there though on the side of NRG to clean this one up. The shot comes out one more time, and I'm just waiting for this squad in RMC to answer back, to look a little bit more comfortable, because I swear it's almost like they're asking to go to a game 5 at this point. Like, it just feels like NRG have all the pace in this game, and oh man, if you predicted it, hey, listen, totally understand. At the end of the day, you know ball.
I do. I will say, though, I love what I'm seeing from NRG. I've been wanting to see the squad kind of like round themselves out in a way where they can compete against some teams that are playing at a much faster pace. I feel like NRG has been a little slow for a while, but they look really good right now and aggressive, and that's kind of been missing a little bit here. I mean, in their first series against the Snowmen, it was a little bit slower. Like you said, it was those 1-2 goal games, but NRG, they're reclaiming that same style of win, attempted style, as Reddle says, no, it's a 1-goal win is not the way that this is going to go out. Instead, it's a tied game at a minute 47.
All right, here we go. Is RMC going to close it out in 4-1 fashion like you predicted? Well, hey, they found the equalizer necessary to get it one step closer. And now Magic Bear up high is going to get taken away, though, as NRG are there to collect. The center comes out. Reddles was there, but the defense going to send it wide yet again.
Not too bad. 90 seconds on the clock, though, for NRG to try and take that lead back away as we stay equalized for now. NRG trying to push out of their half of 50. Could put this in their favor, but Magic Bear was already up, and Reddit redirect on target. Just a bit high, though, at the end of that play. A minute 12, NRG trying to take a shot. Zanil hits the post and out, and Garrett gonna back pass to Aqua and let the team reset.
Reddles has done such a good job on the defensive end for this RMC roster recently. Not just in this tournament, but also the Shift Summer League has really stepped up on that defensive end for this squad when they need it the most. And looking to keep that going. Oh my goodness. Reddles, absolute beamer. I mean, Slater the Slaughter right there is absolute. Oh man. That's just insane.
It's nasty. It's full team effort to Magic Bear to cheese and then back up to Reddles on that one. It just, the full squad involved on that. 45 on the clock. NRG now trailing by 1, almost 2 right there, as this one gets sent back sidewall and in. Hat trick, I think, for Reddles right there. 3-1.
Reddles with the neck stretcher coming out, making sure that RMC take the advantage. 3-1. And now with only 38 seconds left, NRG just have a dream and a little bit of hope to hang on to as they're going to try and come back into this one. And that's exactly how they're going to start it. Okay, so we got ourselves a 1-goal game now, 36 seconds left.
Oh my God. Okay, what happened off this kickoff? Okay, Reddles opted for bump and didn't realize it was going to dead ball, I think. And then Magic just not back in time. Full serve energy from NRG, which is what they need. They give themselves 36 seconds to try and tie things up here. And off the kickoff again, they're going to try and recreate what they did. Aqua tries to clear this one into it. He's not going to be given a second touch. Instead, he's going to have to get followed by Zanil and Garrett. You saw Zanil trying to open up a path there. Opportunity, but Zanil wasn't turned around. Instead, RMC get a little bit more time to just play some defense here to a wide open net. This one past Zanil, completely denied. It doesn't find its way in. 8 seconds on the clock. This is in the blue half. That's a good sign for NRG if they can get control of this ball. But one last play as this one pops on up. Could be denied. Aqua's going to keep it in play here. It bounces up into the sky. Zanil's up next. You see all of NRG trying to get it in a position to catch. Garrett catches it. Flicks past one. This ball's killed, and RMC